Hey, 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 everyone. Welcome to the Crossing Route Show. Yes, we are back. We took a week off, but sometimes you just got to do what you just got to do. But we're back. We're back and better than ever, as long as we're better than the last show that we did, which was 2 weeks ago. Welcome, everyone. I'm Sunny Cadwallader, better known as Cad Chica in the world of social media, and I am, of course, joined by the one, the only, the draft expert, my buddy, my friend, Nick Paulenich. Hey, Nick, how are you?
Hey, Sonny, good, good. And how are you doing? Long time
I
no
am.
speak.
That smoker's cough.
Still hanging with you?
I think so. It's something, or maybe it's just the weather, or the fact that I was trying to eat really quick before we started the show. Which, if I should know better, a friend of mine says never eat before you start a show because it'll mess with your with your voice. And so that's what I've got a frog in my throat, not to be confused with the TCU Horned Frogs, but we're hanging in. Nick, missed you last week.
Yeah, last week that thing called a job got in the way, so made for a yeah, and just life in general. So, and then I made room for the calves, which was a mistake.
Are you
So,
in mourning right now? I mean, everywhere you look, it's like, what's wrong with LeBron? What's wrong with the Cavaliers? They're failing. What's happening? The
I
sky
know,
is falling.
I know, break up the calves. Everybody's leaving free agents, and it's over. The experiment has gone wrong. No, I'm good. I'm actually going to the first game on Monday, so I'm excited about that. So hopefully they get rid of all their bad play on this trip out west and play fine. I'm excited about going to see them on Monday, so it should be fun. So
Yeah, yeah. Rub it in, Nick. That's just fine. Now, didn't you go to since we last since we last gathered together? Didn't you go to watch party or something like that?
I did a small gathering. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, all of a sudden like the Cavs are like it's like we took a 4-year hiatus and now everybody's very excited again. So yeah, it was fun. Everything was cool. They introduced the players and then they played the basketball game. So,
I know.
but
Somehow or another, they wind up having to get to the basketball game, despite all the pre-game productions and everything like that on the courts and stuff like that. But
yeah, it felt like a rock concert. It was just strange, but yeah, hopefully, I think it'll be an interesting season. I think there'll be, if I remember correctly, the Heat started off 9-8 when they first got together. So I kind of expected the same type of deal with the Cavs. So
yeah, I suppose so. And I think I'm having tech issues over here. I keep turning your microphone down in my ear, so I have no idea what you're saying sometimes, Nick. It's going to be that
it's just
kind of a show, I think.
it's just NBA talk on a college football show. No worries. So
I know.
we can move
I
on.
know. No, I mean you were still talking. I just wasn't listening. That's
Uh,
usually the reverse, where the guy doesn't listen to the
yeah.
gal, right? The
Yeah.
men just tune women out. All right.
Oh
Anyways,
yeah.
all right. We yes, we should get to some football talk, but I wanted to hear about the Cavaliers thing, and I didn't want to go talking about Michigan, and although maybe we should, Nick. I mean, we didn't even mention that in our pre-show meeting in the green room about Michigan has said goodbye to Dave Brandon. What's going on up there?
Yeah, he's gone now. Looks like they negotiate. Our listeners wouldn't be able to see, but he resigned. Air quotes around that. So now that the search is on, I think they wanted to get that ahead of time so they could get the person in place so they could, because I think the next domino to fall is Brady Hoke unless he pulls out fairly tremendous run over the next month. I think
Yeah,
well, you can always can be
dream.
possible. Yeah, they did. And speaking of dreaming, when in the Michigan State game, they actually flew a plane over during the game, and it said, "Please keep Brady Hoke." So,
That's nice.
so, but yeah. So, and I think one of the leading candidates is the Northwestern AD. His name escapes me right now. So, but I think that's one of the leading candidates. So I think they want to get that in place so they can move forward with the football coach search once the season concludes, or as soon as they get the AD in place, they can start to work the back channels, I would assume.
Jim Phillips, is that his name?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
So, which would probably also then throw the Pat Fitzgerald name into the mix, I would assume, which his name is come up in the past. I know he's a Northwestern alum, former player at Northwestern, but I think that he would be somebody that they would be interested in. I know right now all the only names you hear are Harbaugh's, but
yeah.
So
I don't know. I'm not a Harbaugh fan, so that is your Michigan report for the week, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
Let's move on because Go Blue Nation is just a mess right now. It is just a mess. But we had our second week of college football playoff rankings come out, Mr. Paulenich. Your thoughts on the rankings, which had Mississippi State at number 1, Florida State at number 2, Auburn at 3, Oregon at number 4. What did you think about that, with Oregon moving all the way up to number 4 when that came out?
I don't really have a problem with them moving. I mean, we kind of talked before the show. I feel like there's a ton of football still yet to be played.
Yep.
So I don't kind of go through this real super reactive mode where people are ready to, burn couches, flip cars with the latest rankings. So kind of, I think there's a lot of these teams you look, they're going to be playing each other. I think a lot of it's going to kind of take care of itself. So I didn't have a problem with them moving up. I mean, we knew kind of Ole Miss or Mississippi State, Auburn or Ole Miss was going to end up knocking one of them each other out. So,
right.
And I think you're more of that. I mean, Auburn and Alabama are going to play. TCU, Kansas State play this week. So there's still a lot of football. So I didn't have a problem with that. I think Oregon's they've been a really good team. They've had one slip up, but everybody's had one slip up at this point except for 2 teams. So
3.
3. Yeah.
We got to give Marshall love, Nick. We can't forget them. I know they're not even in the college football playoff ranking poll. Whatever,
yeah. Wow. Yeah. They're not even
herd. They are undefeated. So
and the committee's not even giving them any love they're not even getting them in the top 25 yet. Jeez.
Nope. I don't know if they will. I mean, given what their strength of schedule is, how the cupcake. I mean, they're not scheduling cupcakes. It's just their conference isn't very strong compared to even other air quotes mid-major conferences. But so their strength of schedule isn't there. I mean, they'll still, as long as we have the bowl. All of the bowl games, they'll get an invite somewhere, but as far as the committee is concerned, their strength of schedule is just non-existent.
Yeah, and I think what will be interesting is to kind of see which of the 3, like right now it would be like them, Colorado State. I mean, East Carolina got upset by Temple. Which one of because the highest
surprising.
Yeah, that was very surprising. First ranked win since 1936.
Holy moly.
Bill Cosby's pumped,
Oh, I bet.
and one of them is going to get invited to one of the bowls because that's part of the deal. One of the major bowls of one of the non-Power 5 conference, the top-ranked team. So, Colorado State. I mean, there's one of those teams, but yeah, the East Carolina one totally caught me off guard when I saw that Temple beat them, a Temple of all teams. So.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. That's kind of like a subplot that I think is kind of worth paying attention, especially if you're a college football fan, just to kind of keep an eye on. I mean, obviously they're not going to contend for a national title, but just to kind of see where they end up in the bowl structure.
Oh yeah, definitely. The other talk of Twitter, social media circles, whatever, the Google Plus community that I've talked about before, the college football community, was Arizona State. Arizona State 7-1. Their only loss was just that, I don't know what you want to call it, they did with UCLA, but they play Notre Dame this weekend. Arizona State moved up to number 9, giving the Pac-12 2 in the top 10. A lot of people were surprised. A lot of people were upset um, because of that debacle that they had at home to UCLA. What did you think when you saw ASU moving all the way up to number 9?
Well, it looks like just through the first 2 weeks, just looking at this, what the committee's doing compared to the other polls, is they're paying a lot more attention to the Pac-12 than I think than you see like the writers and the coaches. Um, and and I thought, everybody has had a slip up or a bad loss, but I mean UCLA is they're ranked 18th, so it's not of a bad loss of some of the other teams, and they beat a good Utah team last week, and a legit Utah team that has a really good defense, has some issues on offense, but they're ranked too. So I thought I had no problem with them moving up, and they've done it also when they didn't have Taylor Kelly for a few weeks too. I think that's got to be taken into account as well.
Great point. And I think what a lot of people forget, and it's so key, is with these rankings is the strength of schedule. I think that's playing a huge factor in current rankings because the emphasis is on that and the records, but until the conference championships are actually decided, I mean they the criteria, but they can't use that yet. Until that happens, it's going to be focused. A lot of emphasis is going to be on the strength of schedule, and I believe ASU has a higher strength of schedule than Notre Dame. I think they're in the 30s at last check. I don't know what you use. I've been using the Sagarin. I think that's how you Jeff Sagarin rankings. You can see those on USA Today, and I believe ASU is ranked in the 30s, but they have a 3-1 record against teams in the top 30, so that accounts for something as well. But they have a huge test this weekend. I think that's going to be one of our games of the week for both of us. But they are going to be without one of their top defensive linemen, so they will be challenged. Taylor Kelly, he has another week under his belt. I think he'll be more comfortable. But Notre Dame lost one of their defenders too. But I wasn't surprised with the top 4. I really wasn't. I know Bama fans probably don't like the fact that they're on the outside looking in, but all of these teams, like you said, they all have time on the field to prove it.
Yeah, and Alabama, they're going to get a shot at Auburn, so they can take care of it, and that's their opportunity. So I think there's a lot of that's why when people start stressing out, I mean, even someone like an Ohio State who's ranked back at 14, they haven't had a very strong schedule. They have a horrible loss versus Virginia Tech, but there's 2 teams they have. If they beat Michigan State this week, who is 8th, and then as long as Nebraska keeps winning and they play Nebraska in the Big Ten championship game, I don't know if that's enough to propel them, but that is going to move them up. So, I mean, I think there's still a lot for people. There's still a lot of football. We just, to just keep to get overly excited yet when these things come out. I mean, like we were talking about, I mean, this would be like if every week they announce the NCAA college basketball brackets. I mean, they would look so different, and we'd get so excited, like, why is North Carolina 10th seed this week, and because they lost 2 games. Or like imagine Michigan State, the schedule they play every year in December, they would be like a 13th or 14th seed or something, So it's just, I think a lot of this is going to play out. So, I mean, like one team that's may be a little concerned is just TCU, because the Big 12 doesn't have a conference championship game, and this is like their last big game this week is Kansas State. So, and Kansas State is kind of flip of TCU with their schedule. So, TCU is going to have to win this week and make sure that they win out convincingly to kind of stay up there. So
that's a good point. Yeah, Kansas State is their biggest one. Their next 2 games are at Kansas, at Texas, and then they're home at home versus Iowa State. So, but yeah, if you look at those rankings, so many teams have to play each other still above them. Or yeah, Auburn, Alabama, Oregon's still going to be challenged. All of those other teams have conference championship games potential, so they could. Yeah, they yeah, I think they might. That's a good point. I do want to switch gears really quick, just so we're not constantly talking about games because everybody else and their brother talks games. Nick, we don't want to talk just games, games, games. Although we like to watch them. Um, you are the Twitter. You not Twitter. I have Twitter on the brain right now. You are the draft expert. You've written for multiple sites with draft insights, NFL draft insights. What do I want to know about the draft? Well, let's see. There is a certain team that I have loved since I can remember, which is a long, long time. I'm not saying how old I am, but there is a certain team of mine that has the inside track to the number one pick in the draft. I'm talking about my Oakland Raiders, Nick. So, who are we looking at for the Raiders, Nick?
Well, I mean, obviously, when you're what 0-8, is that what they are? Yeah,
Shut up, Nick.
You have a lot of needs. So let's say
not a quarterback. They don't need a quarterback.
So
that's one thing they don't need.
No. So which my first thought is, which usually is you don't see a lot of wide receivers go, but how nice would an Amari Cooper look in a Raiders uniform?
Sweet.
But if they end up going, a lot of times, it's like you end up seeing like the defensive lineman, somebody like an end like Leonard Williams or from USC or Randy Gregory from Nebraska. Those are two ends that are up high. Same with Shane Ray from Missouri. So it's a very high defensive end draft. So if that's somebody, we know running backs have started to really. Todd Gurley is high, and especially one of the things that's going to work in his favor, oddly enough, is there's not going to be a lot of mileage on him this year. So, but we know that. So, but we know running backs aren't going to go number one. But I just kind of
they need a lot of help. They need a lot of help.
Yeah. And so I think if they go for like the weapon. Maybe it's an Amari Cooper. And, it's early. We haven't gone through combines and, how all that works. Definitely if they want to go defensive line, it's a very deep draft. If they want to go offensive tackle, there's a few offensive tackles out there, like Brandon Scherf of Iowa. There's a few options there. Obviously,
I don't suppose there's an owner in the draft at all. They need an owner too. Can we draft an owner, Nick?
Yeah, maybe that's the way to go, and then just start from scratch.
They need all the help they can get except at quarterback.
Or maybe you just go with somebody like Shaq Thompson, and you just have him play like multiple positions, fill multiple needs at once.
That kid is something else.
That's incredible.
On defense, on offense, on special teams. I believe he's lining up on offense this weekend against UCLA, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe maybe he'll be on defense, and maybe it's what's that kid's name from UCLA? It's escaping me. Siler? No, is it Siler? Oh man, see, makes for great podcast talk. Golly, I'm drawing a blank. All I want to do is I'm keep thinking Khalil Mack because we were just talking Raiders, but that's not it. Anyways, I think oh Lord have mercy, Miles Jack. That's it.
Yeah.
Miles
okay.
Jack,
yeah.
I believe he is gonna line. Maybe he's gonna line up on offense and facing. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I know this makes for great podcasting, great radio, but hey, I'm trying to find the story. I didn't plan on going this way. You
Well,
brought up Shaq.
I'm just trying to give the Raiders options, like, so they can get more bang for their buck.
Oh, come on, Nick. You're just sticking the knife in and you're just twisting and twisting and twisting some more, aren't you? You're having fun with this.
Yeah, well, hey,
Yeah.
no, and I think it is amazing what that kid's doing, though. I mean, just to be doing it at that level and that's amazing. I just thought, I mean, that's especially at those positions, no less for their like high contact positions. I mean,
Yeah, I think it wouldn't surprise me if they both are going to line up on both sides of the ball, to be honest with you. Since we are talking about Washington and Shaq Thompson, there was one kid. I don't know if he's a senior though. I'm trying to figure out how to say his name. Haoli Kikaha, I
I'm
believe he's either leading the nation in tackles or something like. I know he's been named Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week a few times, but Haoli Kikaha is a name to watch, and so I don't know if I think he's a senior. But for our next show, Nick, tell me where he's going to land.
okay.
Okay,
I will do that.
write that down. Write that down. He is a finalist for the Butkus Award. Yeah, he is a finalist for that, and he is a stud. He is just fun to watch, just blowing by. Some of the linemen when he's a linebacker, but when he's on a blitz, oh my goodness, you can't. I haven't seen many who have been able to stop him this year.
Well, they've got. I mean, they've got a few guys. I mean, I've just kind of starting to go through. They've got a defensive tackle, Danny Shelton. And they've another. I mean, they've got and a cornerback, Marcus Peters. I mean, they've got a nice little defense up there. So, I guess not
Yes.
nice little defense, but
Well, they started out well, but they got exposed with some of their younger players. Especially like the Eastern Washington game. But you're right. They do have some solid defenders on there. So thanks, Nick. This has been the Raiders draft report, because they will be drafting number 1. They will be drafting number 1. The question now remains whether they will actually win a game. But this is not NFL talk, so
maybe it'll just whoever has the best 40 they'll take with the first pick.
shut up. Al is not running the team anymore. They've had good drafts the last 2 years. It's just they needed so much help.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is you can't get it all in one draft. I mean there's no way you need 20 picks.
Yes,
so.
I know, but hey, maybe by Thanksgiving they'll have won one. Do you think?
Yeah. They should. Everybody. I mean, it's hard to go 0-16. Let's face it. I mean, that Lions, what the Lions accomplished, is pretty impressive. So.
Oh, they were a horrendous team. Oakland has to win. They have to win one. Speaking of Thanksgiving, a lot is going to change between now and then on the field in college football. But when I was getting ready for the show and trying to see which whoopsie, something's going on. There we go. Sorry, technical issues again. We are having a good time. I was looking ahead to Thanksgiving weekend, and I know there's a lot of football to play, but there are some really fun games that I can't wait to see on the field. And I'm talking Egg Bowl, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Territorial Cup, ASU, U of A. I don't know that there's a trophy for this one, but Notre Dame, USC is always a good one. And then, of course, Michigan, Ohio State.
Yeah, and that could be Brady Hoke.
I was going to say, will that be Hoke's last game, you think?
Could be. I mean, we don't know. Or, I mean, if he pulls off the shocker. then no, yeah, I mean, and that's the interesting thing. There could be a lot of coaches' storylines that week too. I mean, you don't know. I mean, we just saw Florida beat Georgia. We don't know where Florida could be that week, and then Florida. I mean, I don't think Florida's going to beat Florida State, but they play them that week, so that makes for some interesting.
We can
But we
only hope.
but we always see,
we want more chaos, Nick. We love chaos.
yeah. So yeah, the Beavers beat the Ducks. I mean, total.
No, that's not happening. That is not going to happen. Just put that out of your mind right now, Nick.
Well, I'm just, yeah. No,
Dream on. Dream on. That would be like Michigan beating Ohio State. I mean, that's just not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. But, so, we're talking about games of the week for Thanksgiving. Let's rein it back into games of the week this weekend. I think we're probably thinking along the same lines on this for this weekend. But what do you got?
So I got like it'd be 9 in the morning your time, noon our time.
I'm still in bed.
Well, if you want to hit the remote on, it's Baylor, number 12 Baylor, and number 15 number 15 Oklahoma. So I mean that's Baylor's still playing for a decent amount. They're
scoreboard explosion.
Exactly, and Oklahoma gets Keith Ford back, so that they have 2 losses, so they're pretty much out. But Baylor's 7-1, so they're kind of still in the thick of things. And then at 3:30, we've got a little game that you may be excited about. 10 Notre Dame at 9 Arizona State. That'll be a little early your time.
ASU, ASU, ASU. I'm just a little. I will actually not be near a TV when that's going on. Go ahead.
And then the evening gets a little crazy. We got 7:30. We got number 7 Kansas State at number 6 TCU.
Yep.
And then at 8 o'clock you got number 5 Alabama at number 16 LSU.
Yep.
At 8 o'clock also, we got Ohio State, probably the Big Ten game of the year, number 14 Ohio State at number 8 Michigan State.
Yep.
And then you can close out your night, number 4 Oregon at number 17 Utah.
And that is hashtag Pac-12 After Dark, because crazy, strange, who knows what happens when a Pac-12 plays after dark. It's just it's hard to explain unless you're actually watching the game. So stay up, boys and girls. Those on the East Coast, stay up, boys and girls, for hashtag Pac-12 After Dark. What is your top game, the one game that you are going to make sure that you see?
Well, I'm going to make sure I see Ohio State and Michigan State. Because I mean,
such a dumb question.
I mean, I think because obviously that's an elimination game, no doubt. I mean, I don't know how realistic it is Ohio State jumps into the fray. I mean, obviously, like we had talked about earlier, they have a lot of pieces, but obviously, I think the winner of that wins the Big Ten East. But there's a lot on the line. That's pretty much because there's really not a lot else as far as big games. It's pretty much somebody's resume. So I would say that would be, and I think but I think right along with that is the Arizona State Notre Dame game, because I think Notre Dame really needs this, because if you look at their resume, they're right now. Stanford was the big win. Stanford's doing them no favors, so you're basically hanging your hat on this Florida State game that you lost. So, so they desperately need to beat Arizona State to kind of remain.
Especially after their game last weekend, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, to beat Navy by 10.
They struggled. Struggled.
Yeah, and so I think that they definitely they need this game. I mean, obviously everybody needs to win, but I think if they're already kind of doing the campaign thing and whatnot, they kind of definitely need to win this game, no doubt, and make it. It's going to be their statement game. I mean, last week they blew a 21-point lead and they give up 454 yards against Navy.
I mean, yes, it's Navy with the triple option, but they've had time to prepare. It's not like it's the opening weekend like Ohio State, when Ohio State had Navy.
yeah, and they
Notre
play them
Dame's
every
had.
year. And they play them every
Mhm.
year too. I mean, it's not like this is a once in a lifetime, or once every 6 or 7 years. I mean, this is a team. So I think if they're going to be in consideration, so I think that those would be my two games that I think. As I mentioned, I mean, I think it's a great weekend. Obviously, I mean, definitely try not doing anything except for watch football.
There isn't a bad weekend. I
No.
mean, really, the Big Ten had their one bad weekend, but I mean, as far as college football as a whole, there really hasn't been a bad weekend of college football
No.
because there's so many teams, so many chances for surprises. You just never know what on any given Saturday. Forget Sunday. On any given Saturday, um, stuff happens on the college football field. Those are pretty much my same games of the week. I do have a question for you. I was in a chat, a Google chat, uh, yesterday, yeah, with a bunch of guys from the college football community, and we were discussing the Alabama LSU game. And most of us do not think that game will be close. I don't expect it to be close. I think Alabama will come out and make another statement, especially since they're on the outside looking in, according to the college football committee, playoff committee. What are your thoughts on that one?
I agree. I think that Alabama, when they're focused, and LSU, you just never know what you're going to get with LSU. um,
I mean, it
and
is in Death Valley, but I don't think that's going to matter.
no, I don't either. And I just and LSU seems to have had problems um, passing with their passing game, and I don't feel like they can rely on one or the other against
Yeah.
Alabama. And I think Blake Sims seems like he's really starting to put it together. And I'm a big Amari Cooper fan. I just don't think there's a receiver in the country that is. I just think he's just a tremendous weapon.
Jalen
But I
Strong
think,
and Shu, sorry.
but I do think that when you get the Nick Saban, um, it just seems like since that Arkansas game,
Yep, he's
I don't
mad.
know what. Yeah, he's mad. Somebody angered him, and he's ready to roll. So, yeah, I can see this game being a blowout and being ugly. I mean, LSU just doesn't seem like they throw up a lot of points on the board, and I feel like Alabama can put points up on the board, and they have a good. Yeah, I could see this being
Yeah,
a blowout.
you're right. LSU's been too inconsistent. I don't know. I mean, it sounds dumb to say probably to some people, but I don't think LSU has the weapons.
No, no, and yeah, and it's just. I feel like Alabama's just, and they've gotten, it's one of those cases, they had to replace a lot from last year, but I feel like that they just kind of reload, and I just feel like they're very,
They reload, but it does take time for them to build
yeah.
that chemistry on the field in games. But I think they're putting it together as well. What do you have as far as sleeper games?
I mean,
Do
as
you
far
have
as
any?
with this week being kind of, I have not really had a sleeper game to be perfectly honest with you, because just being the fact that there just hasn't, with all the big games being together, I have not. I honestly don't have a sleeper game this week. So I know that doesn't make very good podcast. I mean, but I
Oh,
think so. There you go.
let me see if I can find the right sound effect. Hey, I found the right one. Oh, Nick. I do have some sleeper games.
There you go. You saved me. Well,
I
we
know.
we did talk about a couple of the other SEC games, like how. Oh, I'm not gonna steal your thunder. Never mind. You're gonna take care of it. So there you go. There's my
Feel
segue.
free. Um, Feel free. I don't care. No, one of the games to watch, Duke Syracuse. Um, I don't. I don't have a reason. To be honest with you, I just looked at it and it's like, you know what? That might be one of those surprising games where, it seems like every once in a while when we have all these big, huge games, ranked team versus ranked team, there's always a game that kind of surprises you as the game goes on. The teams are going back and forth, and before you know it, they're in overtime. I feel like that might be one of those games. Call it gut instinct. So Duke
It'd
Syracuse.
be a good look. It'd
What's
be a
that?
good lacrosse matchup. It'd be a good lacrosse matchup.
Let's see, we've talked basketball, we've talked football, now we're talking lacrosse. Let's fit in some baseball while we're at it. Speaking of baseball, Georgia, Kentucky, don't they usually have good baseball teams?
Yeah, they do.
They play baseball in the SEC too. Georgia Bulldogs and Kentucky Wildcats. Georgia travels to Kentucky. Georgia coming off that surprising loss that you did mention earlier to Florida. I believe Gurley is still suspended for this game. He will not be able to return until next week's Auburn game. Might they be overlooking Kentucky at all and look ahead to that Auburn game, you think?
Yeah, but I think that this week, I mean, the whole Florida game has really opened up. The SEC East is just completely wide open,
Yeah.
so they better be focused because I even saw somewhere, I do not have the whole scenario, but how Florida could still win the East. So I thought it was kind of funny to read through it, but yeah, if Kentucky's played some pretty solid football, and it's at Kentucky, so I would definitely go in there, and I wouldn't be looking ahead. I would try to take care of business.
Kentucky's last win, however, was back on October 11th against Louisiana Monroe. After that, they lost 41-3 to LSU, 45-31 to Mississippi State, and last week, I don't know what they were thinking. Again, they were just out of it. 20-10 loss to Missouri. So, if Georgia needs to make sure they come out right away and sets the tone early. Sets the ball. Just get all over Kentucky early and not even give them a chance. Otherwise, if they're looking ahead to Auburn, it wouldn't surprise me because Kentucky can be competitive. It's just they're on a 3-game losing streak, so maybe they'll just say, "Hey, this is the time to turn it around," and we'll see what happens with that. But the biggest sleeper game, and we're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone on this, and it's a huge game. I will be at this game. I'm talking about the FCS report, Nick. I have to get in some FCS talk because huge game in the Big Sky Conference. Number 5 Eastern Washington will be hosting the number 11 Montana Grizzlies. Both teams are tied at the top of the Big Sky Conference with not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 other teams, Nick. There are 6 teams tied with 1 loss in the Big Sky Conference. This is a huge game for whoever wins has a better chance to get into the FCS playoffs where there's real playoffs. There's real playoffs in the FCS.
Wow, imagine that.
None of this bowl game crap, They're the best sign I saw last year. Bowls are for cereal. So this is a key game. Lots of other key games this weekend, but because I cover Eastern Washington, if they want to even host a game, they need to win this one. It's a huge rivalry game. Yes, I know Montana State, but this is a big rivalry game. It's on at 12:10 p.m. my time. I don't know who else has. I don't know if you can even watch that game, Nick.
Sometimes they put it on ESPN3.
Well, there you go. Here it's on Root Sports. Unless you download the Big Sky app, you can get it on the Big Sky app. But the biggest question with this one will also be Walter Payton Award candidate Vernon Adams. As of earlier this morning, we did not know who was going to start. He has been injured. He's been out the last 4 weeks due to a broken foot. the goal was to get him back for this game. So will he play? Will he start? Will he play at all? When he is in the game, all bets are off as far as the other team. He brings another dimension to the Eagles, but we will have to see whether he plays or not. But that's it. That's the biggest sleeper game of the weekend is Eastern Washington and Montana. And we did not get any Utah love in, Nick. Where's the Utah love?
We mentioned them back when the 10 o'clock game.
That was just a mention. Usually you go on and, trying to connect with your Utah peeps and your Utah family. Come on, Nick.
Well, we've got Friday night. We've got Utah State at Wyoming on ESPN2.
We were talking about that game. We mentioned that game. Like, no, we are not discussing this.
In Laramie, 7,000 feet above sea level.
I think Utah State just had to suspend a player or kicked him off the team, didn't they?
They did for soliciting a prostitute.
Oh yeah, that's what happens in Utah. Okay, yes.
I've been to Logan. I didn't realize that happened in Logan. I'll just say that. But I guess whatever. Logan.
Stranger things have happened, and this show is now off the rails. Woohoo! All right. Where are you going to be at this weekend, Nick?
This weekend I'm actually going to be here in my home on my couch watching the games,
Nice.
Which will be good. Yeah, so that's where I will be. So which will be good because there's a lot of games, especially that evening will be a good place to be. So
and make sure you're downing all of the Red Bulls and all that so you can stay up for Pac-12 after dark, right?
I do. Like it's tough. Like that Utes Sun Devils game was a little tough coming on at 11 our time.
My gosh, that was tough for me.
Did not appreciate the Eastern Time Zone then.
I didn't either, and I'm living in the Western Time Zone. Oh my goodness, we fell back this weekend too. I hope everybody has changed their clocks by now.
I think most of ours are changed in the house.
I think I haven't even changed my calendar. My calendar still says October. Is that a problem? Do I have a problem because I haven't changed my calendar yet?
The one I'm looking at is actually still in October, so don't feel bad. It was a good month.
It was a very good month. Well, like I said, I will be out in Cheney. Probably on the sidelines because there's so much press coverage usually. I think I will be getting kicked out of the press box. Oh. But that means more great in-game pictures to share with everybody, share with y'all. Why don't you let everybody know where they can connect up with you, Nick?
At Twitter at N Paulenich, and that's N-P-A-U-L-E-N-I-C-H, and also on my website. We'll be putting some pieces up there soon this week at thesportsavant.com.
Yay, and he is on Google. For those of you who are on Google Plus, he is on Google Plus. Not very often, but he is on Google Plus, and that's how we are recording. I know. That's how we are recording this show, is we are through YouTube, through Google+. We are recording this show on a Wednesday, November 5th, 2014. I am Sunny Cadwallader. You can connect with me in the world of social media on Twitter and, yes, on Instagram. Instagram, too, at CadChica. If you like dogs, I share lots of pictures of my dogs on Instagram, so you can connect up with me there. My website, cadchicasports.com. You can usually find my game stories from Eastern Washington there, and of course here on Google Plus, Sunny Cadwallader, spelled C-A-D-W-A-L-L-A-D-E-R. And anything else? Any other places? No, I think that's it. So be sure you connect up with us, and thank you for listening to the Crossing Route Show. Nick, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it has been. And next week we should have an exciting show with a very different looking top 25. So
and maybe even a different top 4 too.
Exactly.
ASU. ASU. Say it with me, Nick. ASU.
Go Devils. Sun Devils.
And on that, and now that I've gotten Nick to say Go Devils, thanks everyone for tuning in, and join us next week for another Crossing Route show.